It's all right. It's not that small. Just get on in. There you go. That's great. Hey, so welcome to another episode of Don Allphin on Fishing. I've got with me Rod Beckstead, a fishing buddy of mine from here in Manila, and we just got the first kokanee in the boat and eventually in the live well, and we're fishing chartreuse today so far, and just barely got started. We've only been in the water about 5 minutes, and so today we're going to be talking about finding schools in the springtime, early spring, and they're really packed tight together. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit, and welcome to another episode, and hope you have a good time watching, and hope we can put a few fish in the boat. Good job, Rod. Can't keep a good man down. That's excellent. Yep, that's a little bit better fish. Looks like, yeah, it's a beautiful fish. Can you get that in without hurting anybody? Good job. That's a dan. See, there's a good kokanee. Good job, Rod. Came on that chartreuse again. Very nice. Today's the day for Rod.
Oh, he come off.
Oh, too bad. Okay, so in the springtime like this, look at those schools. Look at that school that we're working. Now we keep seeing these schools, but it's amazing how sometimes the fish are just not biting, and a lot of times it's because there's very little separation. This is one of the first schools we've seen today where there's separation between all the different fish. So when we jig through them, we want to be able to actually be jigging for individual fish that are above the actual school. So if you can see, that's my lure, and I'm sure that's Rod's lure too. And I just missed a really nice bite. But it's amazing how in the springtime, even with all the fish on that screen, it's amazing that you can't just drop down and just whack them. There goes one right there. It's amazing that you can't just whack them because they just honestly just do not all of the time do the same thing. So there you go. There's one. Came on the green, and the chartreuse, and boy, isn't that a solid fish there, Rod? Beautiful. They're just really solid fish. Get that out of there and into the live well, and see if we can't take advantage of some more. Now you see that they've dispersed a little bit. That big line that you see there in the middle, that's Rod's lure. So the fish have actually moved, and we'll have to go find them again. These are some of the challenges that we faced. Look how tight that school is down there that you can see. See, we're trying to stay on the upper edge of them, but you can't see the separation. Did you get one? Have you got one? Did he go straight up? Good. But that's some of the challenges that we're facing today. Oh, he came off right at the boat. That's too bad. Anyway, so but that's some of the challenges that we're facing, is that these small, tight schools have not been quite so willing to bite. And I've said this so many times, it's kind of like a broken record, but the truth is that if these are in a tight school right there, a lot of times they're just chasing the tail in front of them. They're not looking to eat. They're just, well, they're eating plankton, but they're not looking to bite. And so here that we had that little school there for maybe 30 seconds to 45 seconds, and they moved through. So that's one of the challenges in the spring, is that you'll see those schools, and if you're right down on top of them, then you can probably catch them. Sometimes it might pay to be have a little bit heavier spoon, so that you can get down there quicker when you sense that and when you see that as you're fishing. In a continuation of our discussion about what's going on today, want you to take note of this big blob right here, and then you come down here and see that it goes all the way connected to the bottom, and that's an interesting thing. But you got to realize that most of those fish are not active. They're just sitting there. And so what we're trying to do is go down into the middle of the school and see if we can't get a few of them to come up to the top of the school and actually bite. This is Rod's lure right there that you can see, and I'm kind of down in the middle. So that just gives you an indication of sometimes it's difficult for you to identify exactly what you're fishing for, because lots of people would think that that's just the bottom, and nope, that's a pile of fish just sitting there that are not active. And so you just, sometimes you can get them to go, and you'll see a few come off the top, and they might be the biters, or they just completely ignore you. And that's one of the challenges in springtime. Well, it's a challenge all the way through, but if you come into an area and you can't seem to find the fish, you might just have a bunch of inactive fish in the area. Good job, Rod.
Right when I came into that batch of fish.
Yep, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Sounds like a coke.
Oh yeah, these are kokanee. These are kokanee. The way that's fighting, yep, that's a nice coke. Very nice kokanee. Let's get that baby up here. There you go. Good job. Another good coke. Very excellent, Rod. Good job. Well, I just wanted to show you the kind of fish that we're catching. This, once again, it's just the 23rd of March, and that's just kind of some average kokanee. Trying to get a few kokanee on film here, but awfully nice fish. They're not that big. They're only 16-17 inches long, but they're really healthy fish. Everything looks great on them, and just love to see them. And they're just healthy as can possibly be. So it's a good bunch of fish, and they just started biting at noon. So I don't know any other way to describe it. From about 9:30 till noon, it was so hit and miss. One bite here, another bite there, and then all of a sudden at about 12 o'clock, we started dropping down, and both of us, both Rod and I, were getting bites practically every drop. Boy, isn't that, look at that pile of fish down there. But it's literally, they are so tight grouped that there's no way in the world. We're gonna have to go down below them to catch them if we can catch any of these. Boy, I just missed a bite right there, doggone it. Just as we dropped down, see, there's another one of those small schools that we're talking about, and they didn't give us really much chance to get down to them, moving too fast. Yeah, that was the second I got down, that fish just hit before I could even pick it up. And so it was on a slack line, and it just didn't get the hooks. It's just a lot of fun to figure the fish out, figure out where they're going to be, figure out what they're going to bite, how active they are, all that kind of stuff. That's why this is such fun for me. Well, as we look at yet another group of fish, thanks for watching Don Allphin on Fishing today. This is really kind of a funny deal. I had several fish on, and actually caught some, but but I didn't have the camera working properly when I got mine in the boat. So this is going to be a Rod Beckstead show, because my buddy Rod in the back of the boat's caught a bunch of fish, and it's been a really fun day. And I'm hoping you're learning something about this early spring bite, that that you got to be aware that these fish are in really tight schools, and when they're in that almost look like a blob, you're going to be hard pressed to just go ahead and jig up through them. Try to find the schools that are separated so that you can see individuals and go down and fish for them. So thanks again for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Like to keep some of these things going. We're going to be doing some rainbow stuff. We're going to be doing some lake trout spring stuff, including trying to get some on swim baits here in the next week or two. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching, and have a great day.